Yo. What's good? What do you mean? It's because you a stalker, man. I don't know what to tell you. Nah, you a stalker. It's all good. I get it. Nah, you a stalker. You the friend. Okay. Good to know. Eat a Nathan, man. Eat a Nathan. Nah, that's another brand though. You don't know that? Come on, man.
Brother?
Your mic's on for today, by the way, so.
Turn the mic off, bro. I might say
Nah,
something
it's on.
crazy, man.
You better.
Bro, just turn it off.
Nah,
bro.
nah, it's on.
Please, bro, turn it off, bro, please.
Oh no, it's on.
That's lame.
You better behave today.
How much you had to behave? Oh yeah, I ain't even gonna talk. What the fuck is wrong with dude?
Alright.
You smell like shit.
Yo, mama.
Yo mama, nigga.
Whatever. I'm gonna tell her. See what she tells you.
Oh, damn mono negro.
Alright. Yeah.
She go try to cook me, bro. No. He gonna call me the hard R.
Alright, let's take a step back here, man.
What?
I'm about to get our asses fucking banned and shit. Your desired password cannot be used because it contains a word. Nice, dude. Okay, let's do that later then.
What are you trying to do?
Nanya, man. Nanya.
Nanya, nigga, shut up. Nigga.
Yeah, Nanya business.
Nigga, eat dick.
Need a Frank, man.
I don't want a Frank. I like Polish. I told you that.
Alright, guys, we'll start in 2 minutes. Was gonna give everybody till 7:45, but I'll give everybody till 7:40. We'll start in 2 minutes. Alright, man. You know what? See how he likes that, man. Fuck him. Gonna give everybody till 7:40. Oh, now he feels some type of way. Oh, it's okay when I do it, but not okay when you do it.
Grown man. Grown man. That's that.
What happened, man?
Just remind you.
What happened, man?
Grown man.
Nah, I ain't grown. You guys gave me that. I never said I was grown. I'm a baby, man. When you an adult, you got fucking responsibilities. I am not an adult. Yeah, I don't even know what that word is. I don't got no responsibilities.
So I don't even know what that word is. Hey, we got a break on EA. Let's see what this is. Oh. Share price. Do we have any gas on EA? Not from what I'm seeing, no. ECAD. Damn. ECAD gave us an entry yesterday. 30-minute engulfing candle and price pushed up. Price pushed up.
Alright, ping me if you have any questions.
Well,
Alright, team. So, once again, as always, the pairs we're going to be going over in tonight's session are going to be the ones that you see with the red flag next to their name. Starting off with AUDUSD, finishing off with USOU. We will be going in order from the top to the bottom. So, once again, if you guys have any questions about any other pair, whether or not they're on our list, just let me know. We'll do those at the end of the stream if it's not on our list. If it's a pair on our list and we haven't gotten to it yet, we will get to it. Believe me. Tonight's session shouldn't be anything too crazy. We took a trade today during, I think it was about like 2 p.m, almost 3 p.m. We took a little trade on GCAD. It's like 1:30, 2 p.m, something like that. Pretty late entry on the session, but it was the only pair today that hasn't hit STP out of our list, or ADR. It really has just been consolidating all morning. Gave us a nice little inducement of the lows, then it gave us those change of character breakup structures that we wanted to see. So we'll talk about it, we'll go over it. But once again, guys, any questions, let me know. If I'm going too fast and you guys need me to slow down, let me know. If you need me to explain something, talk about why I'm looking at something a certain way, just let me know and we'll go over that as well. So AU, we know we're in A2, which is a second zone consolidation in an overall downtrend. We're looking for that third push, but before we can look for the third push, we need to see a valid break of structure of these lows, right? We know price gave us an inducement, right? Just a testing candle. Price came back up, gave us another testing candle. Price came down, right? It ended up closing below, but it's a very weird candle, right? The wicks longer than the body is not really a strong candle. Right, so then I'm looking at the next candle. The next candle closed below. So could we say we got a valid break of AU? Absolutely. So now we know we're trading at a lower low. What's the next step? The next step is for price to give us a lower high to then continue into a lower low. So once we get price to give us that lower high, once we have a set lower high, that's when I'll start looking to take trades again on AU. So for right now, I don't really have anything on the date on the 4-hour time frame. This will kind of be more for the end of the week going into next week. Next week we'll potentially look for some trades to continue to push down to the bottom if we get those continuations. Once again, 2 weeks of drop. Next week we'll look for a third week push to the bottom. So right now in the 30-minute, we also had 2 days of drop. Price came down and gave us the third day. So AU was another one that 9:30 it gave us the entry, but before 9:30 price had already given us ADR and STP for the day, right? ADR was 100 pips, we did 107. So it's not really a lot of pairs that we could really look at and be like, oh, we have some good solid trades, right? But AU ended up giving us that third push. This one was a good one for today as well. If you caught this one, again, a little bit late of an entry, never gave us a retest of the engulfing candle that it printed too, which a beautiful engulfing candle, just never gave you a retest. So you know, potentially this could be a nice zone. We'll mark this up and I'll go back and explain what I'm seeing here. So let's just do this real quick. So 15-minute engulfing. Remember what we talked about with the second week of drop. If price gives us 2 weeks of drop, right? So let's draw this out. And again, I'm not gonna do this with every pair, but just so you guys can see exactly what it is that I'm looking for. Right, so we know there's 2 things we want to see. So there's 2 things I'm going to mark up here just visually so you guys can see what it is that I'm looking at. So this is the opening candle for the week. We know that for price for this week to be considered a drop, right, another week of drop, price needs to, at the end of the week, it needs to close below this area. So if at the end of the week we close below this week's candle, and then at the start of next week we end up getting some pullbacks, right? Boom, let's say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday we get a pullback, right? I drew this a little bit too wide. Let me do this again, right? So let's say that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday we get a pullback to here. What are we looking for in level 3? We're looking for price to bounce off the 50 EMA. So if the 50 EMA continues to trend down and we're somewhere like this in the area, and then boom, 50 EMA. What does this mean? Well, beautiful. This means that we're going to be looking for price to bounce off the 50 EMA to start giving us that downtrend push, right? And what else are we looking at this point? We'll be looking for this retest of the 15-minute engulfing. So we already know, okay, cool. We have second week of drop, which is going to be this week. Next week, we know we're going to be looking for this. This is where I'll be looking for my entry, and my take profit is going to be somewhere at these lows. Right, so then let's say that this is the entry that we catch. This is going to be a simple 18 pip stop loss for 184 pip TP if we're chasing a whole week. And this is how it would look in the 30-minute time frame. So again, this is just us putting the pieces together, right? What we could be expecting, what could happen. If price doesn't finish on a second week of drop, then we're not going to be looking for that entry. If price finishes on a no net, if price finishes on a weaker rise, then we're not going to be looking for that entry. Then we know we're just sitting at a lower low. How we said earlier, we got the break. After the break, we're looking for the pullback. So on the other hand, what's the next step? Well, if price invalidates these engulfing candles, then we know that this is where price is just going to continue that pullback to give us that lower high in the higher time frame. And that's okay. We'll let price do what it has to do, and we'll catch the trade at the lower high. Once we're at the lower high, we'll take those trades going back short to go into the lower low. So no rush. No rush at all. And we've been talking about this all week too, guys. A lot of people are out here complaining about the markets, complaining about that markets are looking weird, but all you need is a little bit of discipline. Right? And we'll talk about that with today's trade. Really, today's trade was one trade where if you were really looking at this and you caught a trade, then you have no reason to feel anxious about trading, because your trading setup will present itself. Remember, we're looking at, let's count how many trades how many pairs we're looking at. We're looking at 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're looking at 14 different pairs every single day. We might not get a trade every single day, but we'll get one once a week, right? At minimum. If we don't have one once a week, then we'll miss a trade 1 week, and then the next week we'll catch 2, 3 trades, right? So we'll always have something showing up. We don't have to chase a trade. We literally just have to wait for our setup to be present. Once our setup is present, that's perfect. We're talking about a 52 pip TP for 11 pip stop, right? That's good enough. So kind of upset at myself. I was looking at this, but I wasn't taking this serious. Kendall was in the call. We were just like, yo, fuck it. You know, we're just fucking around with this trade. Especially, you guys know me. I'm not really looking at my charts after 10:30. And yeah, this trade was at 12:30, 1 o'clock. So I didn't take that trade as serious as I should have. That would have been a really good trade. I only took that trade on my funded too. I didn't even I really wasn't paying attention to the trade at all. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys until after the fact. And I'm like, wow, well, this one was more of a very simple trade. It was a very simple trade today, but it's all good. Live to see another day, man. Profits are profits. He says you must don't want to pay rent, hey, man. It's all good, man. It's all good. I say it's all good, but I beat myself up about it. Cause that shit is, I shouldn't be doing that, you know what I mean? I should have just gotten that shit over with. But it's all good, it happens, man. That's why you gotta, that's why I always say it, man. When you're not really on the charts, don't be on the charts. Cause you're gonna do something stupid. So EA. Alright, so I hope that example clears a lot of things up about structure and what I'm looking for, guys. Again, I'm gonna speed it up just a little bit, but if you guys need me to slow down or explain something else or talk about an entry that I'm seeing or talk about any type of zones that I'm marking up, again, any questions at all, just let me know. There's no such thing as a stupid question. There's no you know, a question that you might have, some other person might have the same question, but he's anxious and doesn't want to answer, nervous about asking questions. You know, your question might help somebody else, even the people watching the recording. There's a lot of more people who watch the recording. You know, they might have a question that obviously in the recording you can ask questions. So if your questions are being answered and somebody else has that same question, you help out a whole bunch of people. So questions go a long way. He said we know better going forward, whatever, man. I don't want to hear all that. Don't beat yourself up. Hey, man. Just know that I'm not sleeping tonight. That's my punishment for doing some stupid shit. I really should have gone full port on that trade. That would have been, yo, I would have gone on it on Instagram. That would have been my debut trade for posting on Instagram. I hear you guys go. You guys want to keep talking to, you guys want to keep listening to these other Forex gurus, man. Hit me up, man. Selling signals for $3,000. You don't want to pass the account. Nah, that's actually kind of crazy, bro. I've been sitting on this fucking funded account for like 2-3 months now. I've just not been trading it until literally until what, 2-3 weeks ago. I was in a call with Kendall, Mike, like, yo, stop being stupid and just trade the prop. But again, there's a whole bunch of reasons why, right? Like, prop firms, especially when you get to a different type of level, like I know the damage that I could do on a 200k account, 100k account. It's like seeing all the horror stories of people not getting paid out. It's like, bro, imagine I'm wasting all this time passing the account, taking the trades when I get the funded account. You know, gotta wait the 2 weeks, bi-weekly payouts, and then when you go and request a payout, boom, you get denied because they want to close your account for suspicious activity. And it's like, bro, we're seeing it now. Like, we're seeing it in that fucking chart champ shit. You know, I'm not gonna say shit. I fucks with them. They're dope. It's a dope ass platform. I would definitely highly suggest people to use it. But it's the same thing. Like, I got a message after a week of using them, like, hey, we banned your account, and then I have to fucking submit a whole bunch of shit for them to unban my account. You know, and it's all good. Like, I got the account sorted, so we're good. We're back on the game. But the point is that if they're doing it on a platform that's not even paying you, imagine doing it on a Propfirm account where they're going to have to be paying me out more than $10,000 every single 2 weeks. And we've seen it. Again, the damage is there. You guys could, my account is active and you can see it free. You can see it on the website for chart champs, and you guys will see what a 100k account, what damage you could do with a 100k account. So it is a different ball game. So that's the reason why I haven't really traded with the prop firms. I don't trust them. You know, there's a reason why I don't really promote them. I did in the beginning and then I stopped. I kind of stayed away from it. Nothing happened, right? It's just, again, the stories that you see online of, you know, these people, infamous people, traders who know how to trade, who just don't get paid out. And again, I don't want to waste my time, because you got to think of it as a business. At the end of the day, it is a business, right? Imagine you go to work for a whole week, and then on Friday, on payday, your boss says, oh, no, we don't have your paycheck. You're not getting paid. You know, how are you going to feel? So it's the same thing. It doesn't matter that this is online. Online money is the same shit. I'm still working. So how do you think I'm going to feel after a week or two of trading to not even be able to get my payout? So, you know, I'm just trying to not hurt myself. But for the sake of content and for the sake of, you know, wanting to start to really take online serious, at the end of the day, it's good promo. Cause shit, if I got a 50k payout, motherfuckers don't want to pay me out. You already know we're blowing up on Twitter, we're blowing up on Instagram. So, end of the day is good promo. So that's the reason I'm doing it. Really no other reason behind it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. So yeah. But that's the account that I've been trading with on in the live stream. So all the trades that you see me take, all the trades you guys see in the Discord, those are all trades taken on the funded account and my live account as well. So we kind of did EA, but we didn't even talk about it, but it's all good. So ECAD, we're in level 2. We were in V1, which is the first zone of consolidation in an uptrend. We got the level 2 push after the break. We made the higher high, right? We got the break. Now we're looking for the retest. We're looking for the higher low. So in the higher low again, we're just looking for a pullback. Right now, price gave us a little pullback, went up, gave us exhaustion candles, came back down, and price came back up to that same spot. So right now is really just a game of ping pong of whether or not price wants to give us a steeper pullback or if price wants to continue the trend. But again, what I'm looking for is for price to break these highs. Once price could break these highs, then we know, okay, cool, we could at least continue these highs to these pushes to these highs over here, right? So just to make another higher high, right? Because that's really what we're looking for. That's our target. So just gotta wait for price to kind of let us know what it wants to do. And once again, why is that? Because if we just zoom in and we look at where price has rejected these highs have been rejected in these highs the same way with the lows, right? The lows, we've been rejecting these lows. So could price just make these highs here and then go back down and do the same thing and then reject the lows? Yeah, we're in a zone of consolidation. So what are you looking for in a zone of consolidation? You're looking for price to break the highs. Once price breaks these highs, we know we can continue that push back to the top side. So that's our confirmations. That's what I'm going to look for, right? I'm not going to take none of these 50-50 trades, you know, making myself believe, oh, we have rejection candles, but we have rejection candles in a zone of consolidation. So I don't care about anything that's going on down here. All of this is old news already. What I'm looking for is up here, right? If we don't get this break, then I'm not getting no trades back to the top side. I'm either getting a break above or no trades at all. So right now we have no continuations. We're still trading at a higher high, no continuations. Again, we can see in the 30-minute how we're stuck in the zone of consolidation. Price is just moving sideways. We have no trend. Price is just rejecting highs and rejecting lows the entire time. So once we start trending, that's when I'll start looking to take a trade again. Bring face cam back here. The problem is too, like right now at night, my room has no light for some reason. Something that I realized I think yesterday. I have no light, so I don't have a lamp or anything either. EU, we're still in the first zone of consolidation in an uptrend. V1, we have 2 months of rise, this month being the third month already. Price gave us that push to the top side. We could still see price making higher highs and higher lows. Gave us a higher low and then started to push back up to the top side. No continuations, no engulfing candles. Right now we're looking for price to bounce off the 200 EMA. We don't have the bounces off the 200 right now either. So at this moment we don't have any entry confirmations. We have 2 days of rise. Today being the second day, perfect. Price already opened and gave us that third push already. So once again, this could be a good one to keep an eye on to continue to trade, but we have no engulfing candles, no retests, really no strong entry confirmations here. So EU, we know we could continue to look at it going into tomorrow, but very unlikely that we'll catch another trade on EU. GA, we're still trading at a higher high, so this is one that I'm really just gonna update. I'm not really gonna talk about it. We'll just keep this one moving. But we're trading at a higher high. We're looking for a pullback before we can continue to trade this. And we're trading in peak high territory already as well, so I'm really not looking to trade GA. GCAD, man. Nah. So Kendall, to answer your question too about earlier, like realistically speaking, why I didn't hold this is the swap fees. So again, if you guys remember, there was a gold trade sometime last year. I don't remember when it was. I had taken a trade pretty similar to this where I held it through the session and I had completely forgotten about swap fees, and literally half of my profits was just covering the swap fee. So with this trade, I was just thinking that it was a very low lot size trade as well. Not even gonna lie, again, I just threw a bullshit trade, to be honest with you guys. Like I wasn't taking it serious at all. So let's talk about it. If I would have taken this trade and I was looking at this from the top to the bottom and really taken this trade serious, I would have held the trade because I would have had a higher lot size, right? Swap fees would have been higher, but profits would have been higher, opposed to just a little small trade. It's really not worth it. Just secure your profits and then get in again. So at the end of the day, let's boil this down 2 ways. So trading, your trading rules, everything. Did I execute this trade perfectly? Yes, because I'm a day trader. I get in and get out in the same day. I target STP. Once STP is targeted, that's it. I'm done for the day. That's exactly what today's trade was. Today's trade, got in, got out at STP, perfect. Everything else is just extra on the table. I don't look at it as extra crumbs. It is what it is. I grab STP. I'm cool with that. We also know that GCAD has that 3rd-month high, so we know price is going to push up to the top side once we get those confirmations, right? Right now we had price give us lower low, lower high, lower low. At the lower lows, it gave us the inducement. After the inducement, what triggered our interest to start looking at this was the fact that price gave us a change of character. It gave us the break of structure. Once price gave us the confirmed break, gave us the retest right on the 50 EMA, which is exactly what we're looking for. We had the cross of the 50 and the 200. Perfect. This was a beautiful, beautiful trade. Only thing missing from this trade would have been an engulfing candle, but everything else was perfect, right? At the 50 EMA bounce, obviously you guys can see I didn't get in the beginning, right? What happened? Price tapped into it, went up, came back down, gave us exhaustion candles at these lows. Once we got another exhaustion candle and another retest, that's when I got in to continue that push to the top side. So this trade was very simple. So again, what are we looking for now on GCAD? Is just continuations, right? At this point, we know that where price is at right now, we still have 468 pips to catch before price gives us that new high. So we have time. We have time, and we will have more opportunities to catch a trade, to continue to catch trades. So that's why I'm okay with just getting in a trade, getting out of a trade, because we know our zones. We know where price has to go. So Cool, we caught this day. Perfect. We'll catch the next day. If tomorrow we don't get the second day of rise, then perfect. Tomorrow's Wednesday, right? So Thursday we know that we'll get the 372. And then Wednesday we'll catch another trade going back to the top side. Or Thursday, sorry. Right? And then the same thing, if price doesn't give us that new monthly high in this week, then we know next week we could continue to look for trades and look for the same thing. Right? Friday we get a day of rise no net, or Thursday we get a day of rise no net. Then we know Friday we'll catch another trade. Then we know that Sunday, Monday we'll get a pullback, and then we can start looking for trades again going into Tuesday or Wednesday to continue that push to the top side. So it's literally us just building a puzzle, right? Putting all the pieces together and going through it, really understanding what moves the market can make and why. So again, I'm not really, I don't feel some type of way about this trade. Again, we have our zones. We know exactly where price has to go and why. So we'll just keep looking for those trades. We'll keep looking for those entries, and we'll go on from there. Sorry, give me a second, guys. Triple swap Wednesday, yeah, exactly. Middle of the 30-minute zone. Would we like to see a break first? Yeah, so that's another reason, right? We're pretty much in the middle of the 30-minute high and the 30-minute low, the lower high and the lower low. So at the end of the day, could any of these pushes be the lower high to go into a lower low? Yeah, of course. But this is where we just wait for the confirmations. Like internally, we're still making higher highs and higher lows. So what would we want to see, realistically speaking? Well, the first thing I would want to see, let's say we get a type 1 or type 2 or type 3 pattern, right? If we get any of those patterns, then we know what we have to look for in order to look for an entry. It's either going to be a break above, retest to continue, or it's going to be that break inducement the same way that today was, right? Which was a type 1 pattern, to then continue the push to the top side, right? So it's just about following structure. It's as simple as that. Again, understanding that we're trading in that lower high still, right? So just have to be careful with the candlestick analysis, exhaustion candles, fake outs, stuff like that in this area until price. Once price gives us a break above here, then we know we're clean, crystal clear entries, right? We no longer have to really babysit the trades as much as we would in these areas. So that's pretty much the only difference here. So let's look for any engulfing candles. Nothing anywhere. So right now, yeah, just gotta wait for those continuations to happen. GJ is another pair that I'm just gonna skip over. I'm not really gonna be trading GJ. I don't like GJ, but I will continue to monitor it and see what price does. The price ended up giving us another day of drop. And then we're still trading between this low and that high, right? So lower low, lower high, and then boom, lower low. So GU, we are in level 2. We were in the first zone of consolidation. We got the break of structure. We got the higher high into the higher low. We got the break of structure retest. On the retest, we started getting internal higher highs and higher lows. So this is looking perfect. Gave us 2 months of rise, already gave us that third push to the top side, gave us a pullback with the opening candles for this month. On the 4-hour, we could see that we had a zone of consolidation, the break, right, the continuation, but then price came down and gave us a little rejection of the lows. Now at these lows, we know we have an engulfing candle. We also know we have the 800 EMA. So we're in a zone where we could see that price most likely will push lower, but at the same time, we're also in a zone that price is most likely not going to push lower. So I don't want to say that this is lower low, lower high, lower low, but for the sake of structure, I'm gonna have to. We're trading between this low and this high over here. And that's pretty much it. And we have, give me 1 second. We had 2 weeks of drop, then last week, why is this not updated? Got a week of rise. So 2 weeks of counter drop. Alright, so perfect. US30. Mr. Bashir, good morning, my brother. Good morning for you, man. It's good night for me. It's about bedtime already, man. US30, I'm not gonna do this over on stream. I'm gonna update it, but I'm not gonna talk about it. Once again, I'm not really going to give my breakdowns on US30 on stream, but I won't do it on the isolation sessions, which is these sessions, but for the trading sessions, I will obviously talk about what I'm looking at and why I'm looking for an entry or why I'm not looking for an entry. But in the isolation sessions, I am not going to talk about it. That's crazy. It was a beautiful type 1 pattern today. But again, everything hit ADR or STP by the time we woke up, so wasn't really interested in looking at any of these pairs today. We had the change of character, we had the break of structure. No engulfing candles, but we did have exactly what we wanted to see, even after the change of character. Change of character, then we have the bounce off the 50, like that's beautiful. Exhaustion candles as well. Boom, straight down. Right, if you wanted to be a little bit more fancy and wait for the break of structures, you got that, but you just didn't really get a steeper pullback as you would want for a pullback to continue. But you definitely, let's see, yeah, I mean, you definitely got the entry on the flag post if you wanted to get in on that. Little 38.2 retracement, stop loss above the structure, above the 50% fib retracement, and you even got the 1 minute fib entry, which is the same. So you definitely got an entry on this, but again, STP and ADR was already hit by the time we woke up, so there's really nothing for us to trade here. And again, that's the case for a lot of these pairs. Today we woke up and there was what, two pairs that were left. I think it was like gold and GCAD, and then gold ended up hitting ADR. We'll talk about gold when we get to it. USDCAD were in peak high, so I'm not trading this either, so I'm just skipping through this one. Yeah, I'm not trading USDCAD, so I'm not really interested in doing this one. It's all good. Again, I'm just gonna keep it updated, but I'm not gonna be trading it. So same thing with USDZAR, pretty similar to USDCAD. I'm just gonna keep it updated. You scared of USDCAD? Yeah, bro. I'm fucking terrified of USDCAD. So what I was saying about gold is like kind of the same thing with gold, right? Gold, we knew we had a 372. Granted, today price didn't give us that new low. However, we know we'll get that continuation going into tomorrow, right? Already for the trading session for Wednesday, we already know price is going to give us that new low for sure, right? Looking for the entries for today again, ADR was already hit by the time we woke up, so you know price didn't really start moving till 12:30, 1 o'clock. The same thing that happened with GCAD. So only difference was that again GCAD at 2 p.m. it hasn't hit STP or ADR, right? Compared to gold, gold already did that. So that's the reason why these gold trades weren't taken today compared to the ones on GCAD. So again, it's just about waiting for your rules, guys. You wait for your rules to play out. If your rules look good, then you're good to go. Take the trade, why not? But if there's something missing about your rules, then just don't take it. You already know not to disrespect your rules. Don't disrespect them. Now we ended up getting a day of no net for today. And that's pretty much it for today, guys. Any questions, let me know. Any other pairs you guys want me to go over? Anything you guys want me to explain? Anything you guys want me to talk about? Let me know. 4 hour. Just don't want that small ass zone, bro. It's all good. It is what it is. Doesn't do me any justice, but it's all good. This is good enough. That wouldn't be a drop no net. No, because it's going counter. Saying gold. Well, no, because price never gave you a drop. It didn't give you that third day low. Counter, we could go back and forth on whether or not this is a counter trend, but we're still technically in peak high territory with gold. So since we're still in peak high, we're technically still in an uptrend. This could just be a pullback, right? That's another reason you don't mark this as drop no net on a counter. If it's counter drops, you only do that with the trend. If it's 3 days of rise and on the third day you got a rise no net or a rise drop, then you would, because that's with the trend. But you don't do it when you're going against the overall trend. And then oil, perfect. This gave us the break. We're starting that level 2 push back down to the bottom. Perfect. It's doing exactly what it gotta do, man. Doing exactly what it has to do. Now we just gotta look for a fucking entry. Because this shit just moves, man. It doesn't give you no fucking opportunity to trade. No opportunity. And then when you think that you're gonna catch that picture perfect trade, right? Boom, STP. That's why STP is so important. Oop, went back up to go straight into profit again. I would have been fucking tight. I would have been so pissed if I was one of those traders that just holds trades like that. That's why, again, STP is king, man. That's why I don't care about what happened today with GCAD. Alright, I'll let price do what it gotta do. The next time I look for an entry, I'll catch another entry. I don't gotta be greedy with that. Now this wick is crazy, so I'm not gonna use that wick. But I'm gonna use the body of the candle and the wick of the red candle next to it. US oil is good, man. I want to see a steeper pullback though. We already made a lower low, perfect. We got the break. We made a lower low. I need to see a fucking pullback. Need to see a pullback. The same way we got one here, I need to see something similar. Probably not that steep. We'll probably get it in the 4 hour. You know, so most likely be like a 4 hour, 1 hour time frame pullback. But I gotta wait for a pullback. But oil's looking good, man. I can't wait to catch another oil trade. I love trading oil, and it pays too. So that's always good. Any questions, guys, before we finish off the night? Let me know. Again, for those people on the WAP, our members on the WAP, this is gonna be our first week using it. So again, I just wanted to get these streams out of the way. This is gonna be our last trading session here on YouTube until Sunday. Right, Sunday we'll be back. We'll do the weekly market breakdown, and then we'll talk about the schedule for next week. Which ones are going to be on WAP? Which ones are going to be on YouTube? We'll have a better schedule for that next week, because I know this week was my first week back after moving, and I'm still kind of in a rush, still moving things and stuff. So tonight I'm gonna take some time. I'm actually gonna do this right after. I have a few things I gotta take care of tonight. So right after I finish this stream, I'm gonna update the schedule on WAP. I have a few one-on-ones for this week already scheduled as well. So again, the Discord is free to join. The YouTube obviously free to watch. We're still going to be doing free YouTube streams. Again, we're only going to be doing it 3 times a week. So the next stream on YouTube is going to be the Sunday weekly market breakdown, which that's the only stream that's going to happen every single week consistently on YouTube for free. It's the weekly market breakdowns on Sunday. Now the live trading session and the isolation sessions, which is this one, those I'll make a schedule for it going into next week, and then that's going to be the set schedule for those sessions for the upcoming weeks on YouTube. So if you guys want to join, make sure you guys join the Discord. The link is in the description. Any questions in the chat? Any other pairs you guys want me to go over? Anything else at all, let me know. If not, then we'll see you guys again on Sunday here on YouTube. Alright, peace out.